man and machine. Anything can happen to a machine. A machine can fail, a rider can fall, a lot of mishaps can happen. So the team that is going to be consistent, is going to be doing it.
Absolutely, and of course over here, the leaders, the backbone behind Indian Supercross Racing League. We can see on stage we have so many dignitaries who have joined us here this evening to back this league, and this is a huge moment for Indian Supercross Racing League. Veer Patel at the back of it, Ishan Lokhande, Ashwin, they're all here, and of course they're all here who've made this vision possible into a huge league like this.
Well, definitely hats off to the entire ISRL team because the ISRL team has actually made dreams come true. Nobody in India had ever thought that India can actually pull out where riders, world champions, would come in India, your city, and ride live in front of you. We've watched these guys only on the internet. And when they come to India and showcase their skills out here, there is so much of learnings to our Indian riders to ride with them, see how they ride, see how they corner, see how they start. So it's a very big boom to every single Indian rider and the growth of motorsports because this is the Mecca. There is nothing bigger in India than ISRL. And there is no better platform for an Indian rider to be performing his best in front of international riders. So when an Indian rider goes home, he's going home with a lot of learnings. He's going home with a lot of positive thoughts. That will help him in the nationals in India. And whenever you ride with faster riders, you automatically get faster. So it's a great thing that ISRL is doing. God bless them. A big salute to the entire team, especially Ishan and Veer, the pioneers. God bless you guys, man. You guys have done great.
Absolutely. And now it's time to come together for the national anthem. This is a big moment for all of us. This is a big moment for Indian Supercross Racing League. Today is the night. Tonight, one team gets crowned champion. So stay tuned for more action because right now we're slipping into a short break, but lots of action coming your way on the other side. If you've missed anything, here's a complete lowdown of the 450cc International Big Boys race.
The 450cc Supercross riders are the epitome of off-road motorcycle racing.
Time for the big boys to go racing. It's time for the 450cc International.
Fearless, skilled, and physically fit. Season 1 champion Matt Moss defines this perfectly. The Aussie made a courageous start in round 1.
Matt Moss has taken the lead at the start-finish race.
The Big Rock champion taught a lesson to anyone and everyone around him, from the start to the finish.
The Aussie 9-time Supercross champion has taken the first win of the season for Big Rock.
In round 2, he finished second in both races, and now, with 54 points, he is just 1 point ahead in the 450cc category.
9-time Australian champion, raced all over the world. It's something that I think that's why you are a champion. You sort of relish in the pressure. I feel like under pressure, that's when I ride my best. So yeah, we'll just get after it this weekend. As much pressure you can put on my shoulders, the better.
But the heroics of round 2 belong to Anthony Bourdon of BB Racing.
What a day for Anthony Bourdon for BB Racing.
Winning both Moto 1 and Moto 2 in Hyderabad, he earned 40 points, which makes him sit right next to Matt Moss with just a point behind at 53 in the overall 450cc standings.
Yeah, I'm very confident for this round, for the last round, and we'll see on the race. I'm very happy to be here, and let's go.
He displayed control on the turns, skill on the highly demanding Supercross track, and displayed mental and physical fitness to overtake and maintain the lead ahead of Matt Moss.
I hope I win both moto games, but it's always good battle with Matt, and we'll see on the race.
The Frenchman took the responsibility in the absence of his countryman and teammate, Jordi Texier, who did not participate in round 2, and hence, with 17 points, is not a contender to win the championship.
I'm not going to play any games for the guys. You know, they are battling, so I will let them battling, and I will just do my own race.
However, Jordi Texier will want to win both races tonight, and that will make life tough for both Matt Moss and Anthony Bourdon, and hence, both cannot afford a slip-up. Adrian Escoffier of Gujarat Trailblazers finished 3rd and 4th in the 2 motos in round 2 and is up at 38 points. John Short of Big Rock, Boris Mayar of Gujarat Trailblazers, and Lucas Imbert of Indy Wheelers will also be looking for podium finishes to be in the top 3 at the end of the league. Get ready to witness lightning-quick reflexes, endurance to withstand massive jumps, speed and strategy with precision and finesse.
Well, to see those big boys in action. Here is what is going on in EMS Corporation Stadium here in Calicut. The stadium is completely sold out with fans across the state who've come here to witness this high-octane energy. And look at the lights. This is a carnival, the biggest carnival of the year, if I may say.
Well, definitely, Sagrika. Let me tell you one thing. I am so happy from within to see this kind of a response from the crowd, the fans, the riders, the team owners. India has never, ever in the history of motorsports seen something, a beautiful spectacle like this ever possible. Look at the lights. Everybody has switched on their cell phone lights. We have the fireworks show out here, and this is glamour. This is what riders need. This is what the people want to see. They want color, they want firecrackers, they want racing, they want FMX. This is what a fruitful Sunday looks like, and this is history in the making in Calicut. It's a treat for motorsports lovers. God bless you, ISRL.
Absolutely, and if you are watching live on your mobile phones, on your TV screens, or are present in the stadium, you will exactly feel what we are feeling right now, because we are in the heart of this stadium, absorbing it all in, soaking it all in, and we can't believe that this is Indian Supercross Racing League. This is season 2. It couldn't have been bigger and better as promised.
Well, definitely, since this is season 2, I just cannot wait for season 3. That's going to be much bigger, much better, because as we say, we all grow step by step in life. Season 1 was good. Season 2 is awesome. So you can imagine what can Season 3 be like.
Absolutely, and we're going to have the brand ambassador of this league, Salman Khan, joining us very soon. And big names like this, when they back your league, when they are present for the races, when the state really backs you, and this kind of turnout, and it really makes our hearts very full, because this is what Indian Supercross League thrives on people, on passion, on making motocross and motorsports such a big thing here in India as well.
Well, exactly. I would like to say, first of all, Bajrangi Bhaijan, my favorite, Salman Khan.
Absolutely, and now 250cc International. Well, that is where a lot of things are hanging. Goes Calvin Fonville, who will be in action, and Lamar. They are the kind of ones who are bringing their teams right in front. What exactly happened, and who are the contenders in 250cc International? Check it out.
With acceleration comes responsibility, as 250cc riders need more precision with throttle control. There are a few who have dominated the technical and twisty tracks of the Indian Supercross Racing League more than the others. Leading the charts is the consistent Indy Wheelers rider number 11, Calvin Fonville.
The 7-time French champion is a winner in India.
Finishing second in the only race in Pune, he was the star rider in Hyderabad, winning the first moto and finishing second in the second one. With 54 points and a 13-point lead, he is now the favorite to take the 250cc championship.
Of course, it's a great feeling to leading the championship. I'm really happy about that. It's also better to be on the first position before final round, because with the points I can have it more, it's just better.
Slade Barola of Big Rock finished mid-table for 2 races, but did win Moto 1 in Hyderabad, displaying a good start to finish race that enabled his tally to go up to 41 points.
Sitting second in the championship, handful of points down. But tonight I just need to go out there, get 2 good starts, hopefully 2 race wins, and put myself in the best position to see if I can get the championship.
Just 2 points behind is BB Racing rider Hunter Schlosser. He won the Pune round to gather 20 points and turned into a crowd favourite. But with poor starts in Hyderabad in both races, he managed only 18 points.
I think that a championship this tight, one race, I mean, it only being 3 rounds, I think one race is huge, so every race counts a lot, because anyone can have a bad race, and that counts for a lot when there's only 3.
Hunter must recover from his practice crash, and the American will be a key performer in the fortunes of BB Racing tonight, as they would be hoping that jersey number 173 can turn things around and take the team to victory lane. Mikel Lamarck of Indy Wheelers and Julian Lebeau of Gujarat Trailblazers have shown the spirit to challenge the leaders and are important point earners for their team. But tonight, if they want to stand tallest, win at all costs is the only way up for them.
A lot depends on 250cc International on today's championship, because remember, it's going to be about the team who's going to win tonight. We're going to slip into a short break here, but live action coming moments away on the other side. Stay tuned.
All roads lead to Calicut. It's time for the first race of the final round of Season 2. Welcome everyone to the 250cc International Moto 1. This is one of two motos and this is the track where the riders are going to be racing today. Calicut, the EMS Corporation Stadium, has such a technical layout. The riders call it the most technical track of the entire circuit. Turn 1 leads you to the TVS Apache hole shot, following which you have the rhythm sections. So many triple jumps. After this berm, you get another rhythm. Triple if you dare? Well, that's what the best riders will be doing. Another right-hand corner leads you to one more triple jump, following which we have the small rhythm section, which takes us to the finish gate. But that's not the end of the lap, because after that tabletop jump, we have the berm, following which another tabletop and one more rhythm section for the riders to go through. This one is the most challenging one, because as soon as you're done with it, take a hairpin and bam, there we have the 8 deadly whoops that'll shake up the riders and their bikes, following which yet another deadly triple, another right-hand turn, and that is a lap of the track in Calicut. And what a lineup we've got. A star-studded lineup with riders who've competed across the world in Paris, Dortmund, Anaheim, all the big cities, led by Calvin Forviel. The third time this season that he's top time practice. He gets the preferential gate pick, which will give him quite an advantage. Behind him, Nico Koch of Rice Talk Racers. And a key figure in this championship is not going to be racing. That's Hunter Schlosser, and that is why. Having an unfortunate crash yesterday with his bike going over him. Hunter is awake, he's alive, he's doing good, he's physically all right, just slightly shaken up. So Hunter will not be taking part in this race today. And that is a big miss, because Hunter Schlosser is third in the title standings as it stands after winning the race in Pune. Nonetheless, we will still have quite a fight for the title, with Calvin Forviel having one hand on the Riders' Championship in the 250cc international class. However, there will be lots of competition with Slade Varola, Julian Lebeau and Nico Koch, all being able to turn the tide around within the flash of a second. Here's the man who's leading, the man with the important red plate, Calvin Forviel. If you have the red plate in the Indian Supercross Racing League, that means that you have won the last race. And that responsibility, that pressure, that target on the back belongs to Calvin Forviel, the 7-time champion of France. The man who's also won in Europe, the man who's won all across the world and has showcased his merit everywhere. He has taken P1 in every time practice session so far. His gate pick towards the inside line. Watch out for turn number 1. There, you can see a lot of chaos. Our eyes are also going to be firmly on Slade Varola. Didn't quite have the best on last time out. He's going to be the man to watch for. What about Lane Shaw for BB Racing? Aboard that Honda, there is a lot for him to do. And remember the championship connotations, everyone. We don't just have a Riders' Championship to fight for. We also have a Team Championship. Every point counts. Every moto counts. Every action counts. On a final day like this. The gates are about to drop. And off we go racing in the 250cc international class. There's a bit of chaos at turn number 1, but Calvin Forviel once again gets the lead. The TVS Apache hole shot will go to him as the riders fight for their positions, heading out of turn number 1. A very clean dead away by all the riders at the start of the first lap. But Calvin Forviel in the Indy Wheelers Yamaha bike, he's got the advantage. He's got the TVS Apache hole shot. He has got the critical lead. Behind him, Lane Shaw BB Racing is under immense pressure. Nico Koch is closing up at the berm, but is unable to get past. Going through the whoops for the first time. P1 belongs to Calvin Forviel, but then comes it over, dig behind him. However, there's a bit of a change. Nico Koch sending one on the inside and he's toppled over. The Rice Talk Racers rider has toppled over, crashing into Lane Shaw at the hairpin. He was having such an incredible run, but Nico Koch from Germany is out of this race. But out of the contention for the win of this race, at least, Nico Koch will resume, but he is right at the back of the field. However, There is no pressure whatsoever on Calvin Formiel, who at the end of this lap now has a 3.6-second advantage over the next best rider, Julien Lebeau of the Gujarat Trailblazers. And let's not forget, everyone, this is a team's championship as much as it is a rider's championship. As it stands, Calvin Formiel is bringing in a valuable 20-point haul towards Indy-wheelers who are second in the standings. They, as it stands, would go ahead of the Gujarat Trailblazers. Now they wouldn't, because the Gujarat Trailblazers have two riders in the top 5. Julien Lebeau, currently second, bringing in a whole heap of points for his team. That is going to be so valuable. But Calvin Formiel has not made a single mistake. Cutting through all the corners, taking them with immense smoothness. Behind them, Julien Lebeau has his task cut out. He needs to make sure that he can cut down a 4.2-second gap in the next 2.5 minutes plus 2 laps. It's going to be an immense task, but behind them, there's been a big change. Hugo Manzato of the Tricolor KTM team has made up a whole heap of positions and is now up into P3. That gap just keeps on growing. Calvin Formiel has increased his margin up to the riders behind him. There's a reason why Calvin wears that critical red plate that denotes that he has been the winner of the last moto. However, Julien Lebeau behind him is trying hard. He's pushing immensely hard, but the gap just keeps on growing and growing and growing and growing. There isn't much that you can do, but Calvin Formiel is in his rhythm, quite like this. Behind them, though, there is action for the third place. Slade Verona is getting close on Hugo Manzato. Slade Verona's gone down. Slade Verona has gone down. This is huge news for the championship. The Big Rock Motorsport rider, who was second in the entire championship in the 250cc international category, has gone down. He was fighting incredibly hard with Hugo Manzato for third place, and Slade Verona has gone down at the firm. This is big, big news for the title, as Big Rock Motorsport receive a huge dent in their quest to win the team's championship. Behind him, Slade Verona is making a bit of a comeback. He's trying to get positions up, but Calvin Formiel currently unbothered on his quest to victory, and behind him, Julien Lebeau. He's trying so hard to be able to close up the gap, but there is absolutely no stopping Calvin Formiel. 5 seconds now the advantage between the Indy-wheelers rider and the next best rider, who is Julien Lebeau, currently on your screen. 5 seconds in less than 4 minutes. Calvin Formiel is absolutely lighting up the course here in Calicut. In practice, Calvin Formiel was 0.8 of a second faster than anyone over 1 lap. Now, he's 5 seconds faster. Look at this. Hugo Manzato, 7 seconds behind in P3. Nobody can touch Calvin Formiel, who is lapping 1 second faster than every rider on an average per lap. In motorsport terms, that is like winning a test match by a whole innings. Calvin Formiel is absolutely smashing it. He's won the French Championship 7 times. He finished second in Pune and said, I've got to go one better. Calvin is currently in the lead by such a comfortable margin. But Hugo Manzato, well, it's been such a good race for him. It started off with a DNF in Pune. Then it came down to a P11, a second last place finish for Hugo Manzato in the first moto. But then the momentum kept on flowing, and Hugo Manzato is on course to take his second consecutive podium in this entire season. What a turnaround it'll be after the tough start that he faced in Pune. But we're down to our final 2 laps of the first moto in the 250cc international class. And Calvin Formiel has not been under any pressure whatsoever. He started off this race with such a clean getaway. One wondered that Julien Lebeau could potentially be able to challenge him, or potentially Hugo Manzato would be able to make life tougher for him. But nobody has been on this guy's level. And what a story it is. As he crosses the white flag, Calvin Formiel now begins the final lap of this 250cc international moto. He races KTMs at home, but And now, above that Indy Wheelers Yamaha bike, Calvin Formiel is on course to take victory. Just has a few more corners to go, and this will be huge. Look at this. My apologies, Nico Koch in the meantime, trying to gain positions. But the eyes will be on this man. The Indy Wheelers team are currently fighting for the championship, and they need a star-studded performance. That is precisely what Calvin Formiel has pulled out of his bag. The 7-time French champion started off the season with P2, got another P2 in Hyderabad, and then took victory for the first time last time on. Victory is a habit, and Calvin Formiel is getting used to it. He takes his second win of the season, and the Indy Wheelers team have a big victory. Given the context of the championship, this will go a long way in their journey to become the team's champion. And Calvin Formiel, with his second win of the season, takes Indy Wheelers back to victory lane. P2 belongs to Julian Lebeau of the Gujarat Trailblazers. A hard-fought performance, but this guy is the star of the show. The 7-time French champion has won this moto by a whopping 11 seconds. That's right, in 5 minutes plus 2 laps, Calvin Formiel has absolutely demolished the field and has given the Indy Wheelers team a big head start in their quest to become the Indian Supercross Racing League champions. Formiel takes victory in Calicut. The French champion, the European champion, the podium sitter in Paris is now a race winner in Calicut. Victory belongs to Calvin Formiel and the Indy Wheelers Yamaha team. What a moto that was. And the decisive TVS Apache hole shot belonged to Calvin Formiel, the 25-year-old from France. Once he got the hole shot, he left everyone behind in his dust. Nobody could come close, nobody could catch him. He was so smooth, so clean, and so fast. 11 seconds. Rider number 11 has beaten the entire field by 11 seconds in a 5-minute plus 2 lap moto. Take a bow, Calvin Formiel. That is a performance for the ages. Here's a look at the results. Calvin Formiel taking home a whopping 20 points. This will take Indy Wheelers right up to P1 in the team's championship. This is a big result for them, as their teammate Michael Lamarck also finishes P4. And how does it affect the overall championship standings? We have a change. Indy Wheelers Motorsport are now up into P1, going above and beyond the Gujarat Trailblazers team, taking P1 and getting P1. Right, time for a short break. We'll be back with more racing action on the other side. Welcome back, everyone. Now it's time for the 250cc India-Asia Moto 1, the penultimate race for all the Indian and the Asian riders who come in from the likes of Thailand, from Indonesia and South Korea and Sri Lanka as well, to showcase their class and their mettle at the biggest stadiums in India. In qualifying, it was a one-way street. Delvinter Alfarisi was on fire. He took P1, and that is how he gets the preferential gate pick in this important moto. Particularly important because the results of this contribute towards the team's championship, and there the Gujarat Trailblazers team have lost P1 to Indy Wheelers. So now it's a great opportunity for Delvinter Alfarisi and Ben Holgren to take Gujarat Trailblazers back into P1. And there is your fastest rider from yesterday, Delvinter Alfarisi. 2 P2s, 1 P4, but he has not won a single moto this season yet. The last round will be the sweetest time for him to win his first moto, and there is a really good chance that he does so, because Delvinter Alfarisi was the fastest rider in practice by over 3.5 tenths. In the world of Supercross, that is enough to give you a big advantage. Here's what the riders' standings looks like in the 250cc India-Asia class. Ben Holgren of Thailand leads this championship by a mere 2 points ahead of his Gujarat Trailblazers teammate Delvinter Alfarisi. Today could see a turnaround because Ben Holgren currently rides while being injured and did not look quite on the pace. However, he's been a multiple-time race winner in this category, and also watch out for Mohammad Zidan in P3. Here's Ben Holgren. He had a massive crash yesterday on the triple jump, fell down and injured the side of his ribs. Ben is a fighter though, and in spite of being hurt, he will still come back in a quest to take his 3rd victory out of 4 races this season. And he wants to take it away from Mohammad Zidan. Now these two guys had a bit of a tussle last time out. Mohammad Zidan took out Ben Holgren in the first moto of the Hyderabad round. And Ben Holgren said, I want to teach this guy a lesson, which he did by winning the 2nd moto. And Mohammad Zidan has a point to prove after crashing out from the lead in every single moto of this season. However, it is a team game, not just a rider championship, and we need every single rider from every single team to perform to the top of their game so that their team can be at P1. Tanarat Benjan in bike number 71 will have the responsibility for Big Rock Motorsport as they currently are in P3. Another update, Nakami Makarin, he starts this race with a dislocated pelvis and a broken hand. These Supercross riders are absolute fighters, and they give it their all in their quest to fight for victory. 15 seconds left. The time is about to go away in a flash. We're ready for Moto 1 of the 250cc India-Asia category. The gates are about to drop. And off we go for the 250cc India-Asia class. Lots of chaos at turn number 1, and Tanarat Benjan is down. That is big news for the championship. Tanarat Benjan is down. Last year's 250cc India-Asia champion is down on the ground, along with another rider. That would be rider number 33, Shlok Khorpade for PB Racing Honda. However, the TVS Apache hole shot goes to Delvinter Alfarisi, the fastest man from yesterday. The Indonesian rider riding for Gujarat Trailblazers has taken P1 at the start of the first lap. And look, he's chased behind by his teammate Ben Holgren, who has that red number plate. The number plate that only goes to the winner. There's a crash. Ben Holgren is down. The Gujarat Trailblazers, the star rider, is down, and he looks hurt. It's a second crash in 2 consecutive days for Ben Holgren, and he seems to be hurt. He seems to be down, and that is bad news for the Gujarat Trailblazers, who want to fight for the title. And look, Cheon Song, the Bryce Talk Racers, are also seeing one of their riders down. Absolute chaos at the start of this 250cc Asia race. Tanarat Benjan, last year's 250cc Asia champion, is down. But importantly, Ben Holgren falls down from 2nd place. And there he is, the front end washing out, the bike toppling over him. And the most successful rider in the history of the 250cc Asia class in the Indian Supercross Racing League has fallen from 2nd place, and this opens up the door for other riders to make a mark, particularly his teammate Delvinter Alfarisi. And look, Ben Holgren is back on track. He may have fallen down, he may have hurt himself, but you cannot keep a fighter away from the race. Ben Holgren, in spite of crashing out, has come back on the track. He wants to fight, he wants to win, and Mohammad Sinan, the man who crashed out of the lead in every single motor this season, is on course to take second place. But can he use this raw pace to be able to make a dent into Delvinter Alvarez's incredible lead? What a season it's been for Delvinter Alvarez. He's finished second 2 times. Now he wants to take the win. And Delvinter has set the fastest lap of this race. His gap just keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Every single lap, Delvinter Alvarez is taking out roughly 1 whole second on Mohammad Sinan. And what a race it's turning out to be for Delvinter. 2 Indonesians at the top of this race, followed by another Indonesian in P3, Nakami Makuri, who yesterday fell down and dislocated his hip. Only 50 seconds plus 2 laps left in this critical first moto in the 250cc Asia class. What about the Indian riders? How well are they doing? The top Indian rider is in 7th place. Rider number 9, Rupert Barbujay, is currently in P7 for the tricolour KTM team. Behind them, Ikshan Shanban, rider number 46. But our focus will be on the battle for the podium, because there we see so much action. Anson Radro for the BB Racing team will get a critical points haul if he's able to finish in P5. Remember, in the last moto, we saw the Gujarat Trailblazers lose their first position in the championship to the India-Asia Motorsport team. Currently, the leading India-Asia rider is 4th. It's Vincent Salangam, and Vincent is about to make a move. He's sent it on the inside of Nakami Makuri, but is unable to make it work. Nakami still holding on to P3, but how long will it be for? Vincent looking for the cutback, going through the whoops, has lost a bit of time. Nakami Makuri for Big Rock Motorsport will breathe a sigh of relief. What an amazing battle we're seeing between the Thai and the Indonesian rider. And there's a crash. Big news. India-Asia Motorsport, your leading team in the 250cc Asia class, has seen their rider go down. That would be Ikshan Shanban falling down. That's a big haul of points that India-Asia Motorsport are about to lose with that crash. And Ikshan Shanban is back on the track, safe and sound, not injuring himself. But here's how it happened. Casing the jump, not able to land, and unfortunately going down. That is bad news for India-Asia, who are currently leading the team's championship, and they need every single point they can earn. That crash does not help them in their quest whatsoever. However, we're down to the final 2 laps of this first moto in the 250cc Asia class. Behind them, the battle for 3rd continues to rumble on. Nakami Makuri dislocated his hip and broke his wrist in a crash yesterday. He was up in the hospital till 2 a.m. taking painkillers, taking injections, trying to make sure he can do whatever he can to come race today. He fought hard, he fought against his body, he fought against the will of the doctors, finally getting the certification to go racing, and Nakami Makuri currently is going to take home P3. But we are down to 1 final lap. Here we go then. Can Vincent Salangam steal P3 away from Nakami Makuri? Or will Nakami hold on? But our focus is going to be on the rider in P1. The Gujarat Trailblazers lost P1 in the last moto. They needed a big performance to be able to get back and to be able to take back their lead in the team's championship. It takes a champion to be able to get a clean TVS Apache hold shot and to not make a mistake. After being second 2 times, victory belongs to Delvinter Alvarez at last. The Gujarat Trailblazers rider wins in Calicut, and after dislocating his hip and breaking his wrist, Delvinter Alvarez, my apologies, after dislocating his hip and breaking his wrist, Nakami Makuri goes from hospital to the podium. He takes P3 for the Big Rock Motorsport team, with Mohammad Sinan coming home to finish second for Rise North Racers. What a result it's been for him. But the all-important result, the all-important victory goes goes to Delvinter Alvarezi of Indonesia. He's been the bridesmaid 2 times. Now he finally can call himself a winner in the Indian Supercross Racing League, and it's an all-Indonesian podium in the ISRL. Nakami Makari, Mohammad Zidane, Delvinter Alvarezi, the 3 Indonesian riders making their mark, and here's how they did so. Lots of chaos at the start, with Tanura Penjan going down at the first corner. Delvinter Alvarezi got the devious Apache hold shot, and after that, Alvarezi just did not let go of the lead. A big crash for Ben Russell Holgren, his teammate for the Gujarat Trailblazers, and that dented his chances so badly. And there was the crash for Ikshan Chandbag. Bad news for the India-Asia Moto. But after being the bridesmaid 2 times, Delvinter Alvarezi can finally call himself a winner in the Indian Supercross Racing League, taking home the full 20 points and at last getting his first win in the championship. This is big news for Gujarat Trailblazers on their way to become the team's champion. 4 different teams in top 4. The fight for the team's title is going strong, and look at this. Only 3 points separate the India-Asia Motorsport team and the Gujarat Trailblazers in the fight for P1. Time for a short break, folks. We'll be back very soon. Welcome back, everyone, to Kozhikode. It's time for the big boys to go racing for the penultimate time this season. This is the 450cc international class. And this has been the closest championship in the entire series. The return of Jordi Tixier marks a big moment. He comes back and he's taken P1 in time practice. It's like he never left. 2/10 faster than Matt Moss. And this heated rivalry that's been going on from the very first race of this entire season has restarted and has done so in style. Oh, he's back, and he's back with a bang. The most successful rider in the history of the Indian Supercross Racing League has returned, and he's done so, and he's made a mark. Look at the camaraderie, by the way. The India-Asia Motorsport team supporting BB Racing's Jordi Tixier, and that is Matt Moss, my friends, rider number 1, the man with the red plate, the defending champion from last season, is back with a vengeance. And we told you, this is the closest championship in the entire season. That's why only 1 point separating Matt Moss, rider number 1, and rider number 945, Anthony Bourdon, who took a historic double in Hyderabad a couple of weeks ago. Now, we've traveled 1,000 kilometers southwest to decide who's going to be the champion in the 450cc international class. And this race will have a huge role to play in the story of the 250cc, the 450cc international category. And this race will have huge championship connotations. Every single rider will be bringing points towards their team. And we saw that the India-Asia Motorsport team, who started the day out in second place, have now climbed their way up into P1, overtaking the Gujarat Trailblazers, but only by 3 points. The Gujarat Trailblazers need a huge performance from their 2 riders, Adrian Escoffier and Boris Maillard. And don't count out BB Racing. They might be fourth in the standings, but at the end of the first round, they were first. And they seem to have the most well-rounded lineup in the 450cc international class. First up, the most successful rider in the history of this category, Johnny Tixier. Then, the two-time winner from Hyderabad, Anthony Baldor. Can anyone disrupt the BB Racing boys? Can Matt Moss take victory? Can the Gujarat Trailblazers guys finally take their first win in this category? We'll find out in 5 seconds. At the false start, folks, this will not count as the start of the race. That is a false start. This means there will be yellow flags waving on the track. The marshals will wave the red flags, which means the session will be temporarily suspended until the riders can find their way back to the gates. And then we will properly have the start of this 450cc international race. That is Matt Moss advising everyone that the track is not clear. And that is why we will have another restart. Safety protocols have been followed to the T, and hence this start will not count. So the nerves will keep on building, and the anticipation will be at a fever pitch. This is the most important race that we have seen in the entire season so far for the 450cc international category riders. They have given it their all in Pune. They have given it their all in Hyderabad. Now, this first moto in Calicut will decide who walks home as the champion, as we will only have one more moto left to go. Anticipation is building up. And how exciting is it to have the top two in this championship separated by only 1 point? And how cool is it to see Johnny Tixier and Matt Moss duel it out on an Indian Supercross Racing League track yet again. These two riders have been the face of the ISRL right from the very first round in Pune in 2024, where they clashed, where their tempers went up, and where we saw both of them put up such an exciting show. They traded blows yet again in Ahmedabad, and once again they were fighting incredibly hard in Bangalore. That battle carried on in Pune, where Johnny Tixier finished second, only a couple of seconds behind Matt Moss, who took a win in spite of having hazy visions and in spite of being sick. Today, both Johnny Tixier and Matt Moss are finally back to a 100% riding level. Finally, we see Matt Moss and Johnny Tixier at their 100% for the first time this season. In the most technical track of the entire season, what will go down when Tixier, Moss, Display, Maillard, Remet, Cortez, Armelan, Escoffier, and of course Anthony Baldor put up a show. 15 seconds left to go. These riders have entertained Paris, they've entertained Dortmund, they've entertained Abu Dhabi, Las Vegas, all these big cities, and now it's time for Calicut. The gates are about to drop, and off we go racing in the 450cc international category. A chaotic start that sees rider number 13, 131 go down. That's Andre Malabar. The Tricolor Kenyan rider has fallen down at turn number 1. That's bad news for their team. However, the whole shot has gone to a Big Rock Motorsport rider, and that would be John Short of the USA. That's another rider down. That is a critical rider down. That's Maxime Display of the Indy Wheelers team, who are fighting for the championship with one of their main riders down at the first lap. However, for the first time this season, Big Rock Motorsport are 1 and 2, and John Short of the USA has taken the BB Sabache hold shot for the first time this year. And here's how it all went down. Maxime Display getting caught up in all the action, falling back, and he misjudged one of the jumps. That is bad news for the Gujarat, for the Indy Wheelers team, who are currently P1 in the team championship, but could see their lead fall away to the Big Rock Motorsport team, who currently have their riders in P1 and P2. It's It's been a tough season for John Shaw. Only competed in half a year of the AMA Supercross. Said he wanted more track time. He said that he wants to go racing and he wants to feel the energy of the crowd to get himself back up ahead of next year's AMA Supercross season. He said he loves India. He loves the energy here, and there is nothing quite like racing in front of a packed crowd with over 30,000 people watching. He loves the lights, he loves the big stage, and he feels oh so calm when the crowd are cheering him on. And that they will be doing, because John Shaw has the devious Apache hold shot for the first time this season and is leading with a margin of over 2 seconds from his Big Rock Motorsport teammate, Matt Moss. This is perfect news for Matt Moss. Currently first in the Riders' Championship in the 450cc category. But guys, Johnny Dixia is coming in fast. Sends a move on the inside and is able to get ahead of the Gujarat Trailblazers rider. The most successful rider in the history of the ISRL is making moves and is doing so fast. Dixia will have the inside line heading into turn number 1, but will be put behind Boris Maillard, who's able to defend the position. A one shot for Johnny Dixia, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Short might be P1. Matt Moss, the champion from last year, might be P2. And they might be bringing a huge heap of points for Big Rock Motorsport. But behind them in the fight for P3, Juan Cross Cortez of Right Stock Racers and Boris Maillard of Gujarat Trailblazers are under immense pressure from Johnny Dixia, who's made his move. Johnny Dixia is up into P5, and his teammate will look to pass him, will look to get ahead of him as well. That's Anthony Borgo, the Red BB Racing Honda rider who took the double win last time in Hyderabad, who's looking to make a move up ahead of Boris Maillard for P4. Dixia has made his move. Now it's time for Anthony Bourdon, the Frenchman, to follow his countryman, to follow his teammate, and to get ahead, back up into the top 5. And Johnny Dixia, going through the rhythm sections, has the advantage ahead of Juan Cross Cortez. Juan Cross heard his ribs last time out in Hyderabad and now gets past from the returning Johnny Dixia, who is absolutely on fire here at Calicut. What a comeback it's been from Johnny Dixia. He's returned to the Indian Supercross Racing League with a bang. He was nowhere near the top of the grid, but has made so many overtakes in his hunt to catch John Short of the USA. And Anthony Bourdon, the winner from Hyderabad, is hungry. Ahead of him, Boris Maillard and Juan Cross Cortez. As it stands, Big Rock Motorsport have 2 riders in the top 2. They will get 37 points if the result stays as it is. But with the last 30 seconds to still have left to go, they might not have the same result because Johnny Dixia is going so quickly. Yes, there's a 6-second margin between Johnny Dixia and Matt Moss. And when Johnny Dixia is on the track, anything can happen. What a comeback it's been for Johnny Dixia. He hurt his neck at the start of this season, made a stunning recovery to come compete at the Indian Supercross Racing League. In Pune, he went from last to second in that first moto. Couldn't compete in Hyderabad. Now that he's back, he's gone from the mid-pack to P3. And what a ride it's been from him, and also from the 9-time Aussie champion Matt Moss, who has been the star of the Indian Supercross Racing League. He went through hazy vision, he went through illness, and he went through an exhausted body to win in Pune. Currently, he's on course to take his 3rd second place of the season, and he's currently only behind one rider, and that one rider comes from the same garage, from the same team, wearing the same jersey, riding the same bike, but just getting one up on it at the whole shot. That guy is John Short. The 30-year-old American rider has had such a tough season. He did do a whole season of the AMA Supercross, only started it halfway through, and now he's on the final lap, with only 1 lap left between him and him being called an Indian Supercross Racing League race winner. I had the good fortune of chatting to John Short earlier today. He said he's hungry to win. He said he loves the crowd, he loves the pressure, he loves riding in India, and he relishes the opportunity to show the crowd just how good he can be. Let's nothing better than riding in front of a packed stadium. There's nothing better than showing the world just how good you are and just how talented you can be. It's not been an easy season for John Short on the USA. He's not been on the podium at all this season. However, that will end right here today. Final couple of corners. Victory belongs to the American. John Short takes a 1-2 for Big Rock Motorsport, and they get the best possible result in the 450cc international class. Big Rock Motorsport have a statement victory, 1-2 for them in the 450cc international. And Johnny Dixia, on his return to the Indian Supercross Racing League, will lead home on 3 and 4 for PB Racing in the 450cc international class. But the biggest winners of this race are Big Rock Motorsport, and particularly John Short. He can finally call himself a winner in India. The American rider at last gets victory in the Indian Supercross Racing League, and Big Rock Motorsport have a statement victory on their course towards retaining the Indian Supercross Racing League Teams Championship. 1-2 for Big Rock Motorsport, in spite of Jordi Dixia making life so much harder for them. At last, John Short is a race winner in India. He's done so in style. What a turnaround in fortunes for John Short, who hardly had the best of seasons. And Jordi Dixia went from the mid-pack up to P3. He fought against so many incredible riders. Anthony Porto, Lucas Nimber, Boris Maya, Juan Cross Cortez. He beat every single one of them to go from almost last into third. Flawless was John Short, finally taking his first win in India. And this comes at an incredible time as Big Rock Motorsport get a 1-2 at the most important time. 1-2 for Big Rock Motorsport with John Short and Matt Moss in P1 and P2 respectively. And PB Racing are also staking their claim for the championship as they get P3 and P4 with Jordi Dixia and Anthony Porton. And look where Big Rock Motorsport have reached with that one win. We told you this is going to be an important victory, and they have gone from P3 to P1 in one moto. Big Rock Motorsport with 37 points have jumped Indy Wheelers and have jumped Gujarat Trailblazers to become the new leaders in the team's championship. And that means that Matt Voss now increases his advantage over Anthony Porton. 5 seconds, 5 points now between him and the Frenchman. Right, more action's gonna come your way, folks. Go anywhere. This is the Indian Supercross Racing League. A sold-out crowd of over 30,000 people have made their way into the EMS Corporation Stadium for an incredible show filled with lights, filled with action, filled with superstars, and filled with the best riders from across the world, mixing it up with the best from India, the best from Asia, all to give you incredible action at the stadium. So far, we have seen 3 motos in our quest to crown an Indian Supercross Racing League champion. And the action has been phenomenal. The crowd at the stadium have been on their feet all throughout the night, watching all the motos, which have been filled with exciting battles. Now, they're enjoying the light show. And we have a superstar in the house. Here's the 450cc International Moto that just went down. John Short of the USA gave Big Rock Motorsport an all-important TVS Apache hole shot, and behind him there was madness all throughout. His teammate Matt Moss followed him home into P2, wearing that important red number plate. But the action was brought home by Johnny Dixia, who on his return to India got a well-earned podium, but nobody could touch the American John Short, who got a 1-2 for Big Rock Motorsport that takes them from P3 all the way up into P1 in the team championship. And the crowd are here to witness all the action. Kerala has such a big motorsport culture. So many rally drivers have come from here. So many racing drivers and riders have come from here. One of the few people from India to compete at the incredible Dakar Rally, Harit Noah, has also come from here. There's a reason why this state loves motorsport. And that is because it breeds adrenaline, it breeds petrol, and it breeds motorsport. 30,000 people have packed in to the EMS Corporation Stadium. There's more waiting outside the stadium as well, because everyone wants to catch a glimpse of the hottest show in town. It's the Indian Supercross Racing League, and this is the decider. Right. Why don't we go down to Sagarika, who's on the ground and feeling the energy of the entire crowd.
Thanks, Somil. Well, I'm right here in the middle, in the heart of where the tracks are, where the stadium is, and the atmosphere is absolutely electric. We have the brand ambassador Salman Khan, who will be seen here in the stadium moments from now. And we have just witnessed on this final day where one team will be crowned champion. Well, we've seen 3 motos here, and it was absolutely electric. There was so much happening here on the tracks. Let's see who's leading right now after the 3 motos that we just witnessed in each category. Well, in the 250cc International, Mr. Consistent Calvin stole the show. He won the race by 11 seconds, and that is a huge time difference between his compatriots, because 11 seconds means a lot, and that's why puts Indy Wheelers right on top for the moment. But Julian Labo and Lamar were absolutely amazing as well. Slade Barola had a crash, and that was a big bummer for his team. But right now, as you can see in the stadium, there is so much happening. Let's take a look at what happened in the next CC here in 250. Delvinter Alfarisi went all the way, and guess what? Who's on the podium finish here for Rise Motorsports? There is Mohammad Sedan, who finally gets a podium finish. And right now in the stadium, after watching these 3 races, we have been absolutely entertained. I can tell you this is the biggest carnival we have witnessed here in India. This is the biggest carnival of motorsports over here in season 2 of Indian Supercross Racing League, and it couldn't have been bigger and better than this, where fans are ready with their mobile phones, with their cameras to capture every moment, every pulse, and they are the heartbeat, right? The fans over here who've come here in large numbers are the heartbeat of where ISRL success matters, and they are all here in anticipation, in excitement, here to support Indian Supercross Supercross Racing League, and it's a huge moment for it. In the world map, India is right on top for organizing such a great league. Here we can see recently what we saw in the 450cc category. Matt Moss overall took it away, Anthony Bordeaux and John Short, of course. And over here for Big Rock, it's a big thing because two riders from the same team did get a podium finish. And overall standings, if you can see, Matt Moss still leading with a huge number. Well, take a look at where the teams stand. Guess what? We spoke to you about how Big Rock was just 6 points away from leading the charts, and there they are. Over there, thank you to John Short and Matt Moss, who took the team right on top of the championship standings. We've got Gujarat Trailblazers who are trailing with 6 points, and Indy Wheelers there with 279. So a lot is happening here at EMS Stadium in Calicut, and I can't wait for more excitement coming our way. For now, it's over to you, Salman.
Thank you very much, Sagarika. It's a little bit calmer here in the commentary box. Nice and peaceful, but that's not as fun. We need action, we need chaos. And that's exactly what we saw in the 250cc international category. That was the first moto of the day, and it started out with a bang. Touch wood, there were no crashes at the very beginning of this race. And that was perfect news for Captain Formiel, who got the TVS Apache hold shot. Was able to go past everyone. Then we saw Big Rock rider crash, and Julian Nebo gave it his all in an attempt to get close to Captain Formiel, but Calvin was flying. Rider number 11 won this race by 11 seconds. Captain Formiel absolutely decimated the entire field and gave a very important victory for Indy Wheelers Motorsport. And this is particularly important because Indy Wheelers did not quite have the best moto in the 250cc Asia class or in the 450cc Asia class as well. So for them to be getting victory in one category is great news as they continue to fight for the overall team's championship. 3 more motos left to go before we crown a new champion. And remember, folks, every moto counts, every rider counts, and every performance does as well. And I'll tell you what counts as well, the fan experience. That's what's been incredible. That's the Rise Moto fan park that you're seeing on your screen right now. This is where fans meet brands and the entire motorsport community comes together to celebrate racing. You've got the Red Bull Racing Simulator, among many other experiences that you can take part in. You can meet the riders themselves, have some amazing food along with some amazing beverages and refreshments while witnessing the energy of the entire motorsport community. It's a one-of-a-kind experience that no other racing championship in Asia offers. The Indian Supercross Racing League brings you the Rise Moto Fan Park. And fans are the most important part of the entire spectacle in the Indian Supercross Racing League. The whole point of Supercross is to be able to bring incredible action to the fans in the stadium as they get up close. And the Supercross culture is finally coming to India. It started off in Europe and America when we have the AMA Supercross, but 30-40,000 people show up routinely every single week to watch these riders in stadiums race these amazing Yamahas, Hondas, KTMs and Kawasaki's. And finally, India has a league like this, and that is why so many fans have flocked to stadiums in cities like Pune, in Ahmedabad, in Bangalore, and now in Calicut. And here he is. And here he is. Salman Khan. Taijan is finally here in Kozhikode. The brand ambassador of the Indian Supercross Racing League, the face of this championship, has made his way to a packed, sold-out EMS Corporation Stadium in Kozhikode with over 30,000 fans to welcome the superstar himself. Salman Khan is here in Kozhikode. What a moment! Welcome, the brand ambassador and the face of the Indian Supercross Racing League. Please welcome by over 30,000 fans. Welcome the brand ambassador of the ISRL, the face of this league. Welcome everyone to the ISRL and welcome to the EMS Corporation Stadium in Calicut. How incredible is it to see such a big superstar endorse this sport, to be able to see one of the leading faces for it, to be able to bring awareness towards the world of Supercross. He's here, oh he's here. To his right, Mr. Veer Patel, the man who's made the Indian Supercross Racing League happen along with his entire team. And 30,000 people have flocked in to the EMS Corporation to see this man and the action that always follows him. Salman Khan is here at the Indian Supercross Racing League, and the entire stadium is packed out for some incredible dirt bike racing and also to see the man himself. Oh, what a moment. What a moment. What a moment. Salman Khan is here in Calicut, in front of a packed out arena, who've all come here to watch the best riders from across the world showcase their talent at some of the most technical riding tracks that the world has to offer. This is the Indian Supercross Racing League, and we have found a brand new fan in Salman Khan. He loves his bikes. He loves his motorsport. He has an incredible bike collection, and he was also there in Hyderabad to watch the racing action. He was left speechless watching the action, watching the Indian riders give it their heart and soul at these incredible tracks where riders are jumping 40 feet in the air, are jumping 70 feet long jumps, are going through these challenging ruts and whoops where the bikes are shaking underneath them. It takes a superstar to recognize the other superstars on the track, and it is incredible to have Bhaijan himself in Calicut. The crowd are on their feet. The stadium is buzzing. Let's feel it down on the ground with Sagarika.
Well, it's a carnival here. It's a party going on the final of Indian Supercross Racing League. Rustam is here with me. Rustam, we are in the heart of where all the action is. Tell me, how much have you enjoyed today?
Well, honestly, this is the largest crowd ever reported in ISRL. Look at this, 30,000 people and more than 20,000 people waiting outside. But you know what's the best part?
Best part is, look at you. Look at that. The carnival is there with you. You are dancing and swaying, and we've got that live on camera.
Oh, I really didn't know that. Oh, that is is so awesome. And my favorite Bajrangi Baijan, Salman Khan, is here, and this is what India needs. This is what Supercross needs. We need a big Bollywood star who's going to take the sport away, and we all know he loves BMX. We all know Salman loves riding bikes and cycles. He's always been doing that right since his first movie. So obviously, Salman's heart is also with ISRL, and this is such a treat to watch the way these guys are riding, and you saw all three races. They were mind-blowing. What races? We had close finishes, we had photo finishes, and absolute brilliant stuff out here happening at ISRL.
Absolutely, and today from Salman Khan in the house, fan parks, team zones, there were so many rider interactions. It's a party here in Calicut, in EMS Corporation Stadium, and we can't get enough of it. There are 3 more motos coming your way, and that's going to be the clincher, the decider of which team takes away the championship title. But right now, what I can assure you and what I can promise you is we are having a blast here on the final of ISRL Season 2. No fan, there is no empty seat. The stadium is sold out. There is Salman Khan who is here in anticipation. There are people here, and it's a big party.
Well, this is a carnival. It looks like a festival, and you know what's the best part? Look at these guys. They are like actually glued to each other. There is not a single seat left in the stadium, and this is the speciality of South guys. They respect motorsports. They are here because they love this sport, and trust me, Sagarika, they are not going to leave their seats till the last race. I promise you that. I've done a lot of shows here. I know these South guys. They're the best.
Right, and absolutely, and all our riders who are all the international riders, all our Indian riders who were in action, they are to be credited for all the entertainment that they've given us today. We've seen some high-level, racing here, and that is all thanks to all the riders and all the franchise who've gotten all these riders here in India and got them to play this world-class racing league.
Exactly. Hats off to the owners of the team to have the faith and trust in their riders, to have the faith and trust in the ISRL. That's where they've put in the money and the trust. And if you saw the 3 races, there were quite a lot of crashes out here. And wow, Salman Khan doing namaste to the entire crowd. And look at the crowd, it is absolutely packed out here. And this is what will encourage Indian motorsports, Indian racing. This is what we needed. A big personality like Salman Khan coming here and the crowd going crazy for it, and we have 3 more races to go.
Absolutely, and riders are all waiting it out as Salman meets the franchise owners, meets the riders, exchanges pleasantries, and him just being in the stadium and just here to watch the races live. It is a big deal, not just for the league, but also for the fans who are here in huge numbers in support of Indian Supercross Racing League. And that is why over here we are in the heart of all the action that's unfolding tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are witnessing something beyond points, beyond trophies. Something bigger is unfolding here. We are watching the rise of motorsport in India with families in the stands, young fans experiencing Supercross life for the first time.
Well, let me tell you one thing, Calicut is blessed. They are totally blessed to have the mega finale happening in their city of Calicut, because such races and this kind of FMX and the stunt show and the kind of glamour that is there with the world champions riding in front of your eyes in India, it's definitely a big boost to the entire Supercross industry in the country.
Absolutely. We have the best seats in the house here in the stadium, but for now it's over to Somil, who's actually voicing it on. Back to you.
Thank you very, very much, Sagarika. It's time for the final moto, not of the night, but of this category. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to see the 250cc international class. And what a season it's been in this category. A whole 3 rounds full of action. And in the first race, Calicut took victory by 11 seconds. He has it all to do once again as we go for the second moto of the night for this class. Julian Lebo, well, he needs a victory and he needs Calicut to DNF if he wants to become the 250cc international champion. two Indy-Wheelers riders in the top three. This has been their best performing category. They had a tough round in the 450cc International. They had a tough round in the 250cc Asia class. If Indy-Wheelers are to become champions of the Indian Supercross Racing League, they need a big result here. And to do so in front of Taijan himself, oh, what would that be for all these riders? All right then, one last moto for the 250cc International category. We're about to crown a champion in this class. And it all comes up in the next 15 seconds. The gates are about to drop. And off we go in the 250cc International class one last time. Would you believe it? The whole shot, the devious Apache whole shot belongs to Hugo Manzato of Tricolor KTM, who's been absolutely on fire this weekend. But already there is pressure from behind, and Calvin Formiel, the rider with the red number plate that denotes the victorious rider from last time on, he is behind him with under a second separating the two. And there's a fast-charging rider, Julian Lebeau for the Gujarat Trailblazers, has sent the move on the inside, going through the whoops. And Salman Khan is entertained watching Julian Lebeau's incredible move as he goes from P5 into P3 in a matter of a couple of corners. Slade Manola, Big Rock Motorsport also feels the intensity. He's moved up into P4. He could well be making an overtake for the final podium slot. And there is that overtake. Big Rock Motorsport now have a rider in the podium. Slade Manola's third. But at the top, it is Hugo Manzato, who's under tremendous pressure. Calvin Formiel has made a bit of a mistake and has lost a bit of time to Hugo Manzato. The two French riders who are often competing in big cities like Paris and Dortmund, now competing in Calicut. Formiel with a move that Hugo Manzato was able to block so tactfully. You can sense the intensity, you can sense the excitement, and you can sense how badly Calvin Formiel wants it aboard that number 11 Indy-Wheelers Yamaha bike. Three different teams in the top three, three different manufacturers in the top three. And the common point, they are all giving it their all in India. Two Frenchmen in P1 and P2, and here comes Formiel, once again using that inside line, trying to catch Hugo Manzato off guard, but Manzato has not made a single mistake whatsoever. One more move attempted, but Formiel is just too far behind. And what a turnout it's been, and here comes Formiel. He's waited for too long, picks his moment, and gets P1. The Frenchman for Indy-Wheelers takes back P1 for himself, and Hugo Manzato will try to fight him. They will go elbow to elbow. Manzato going side by side with Formiel. The two Frenchmen dueling in Calicut, and at the end of that battle, Calvin Formiel has the advantage, but for how long is the big question. My word, what a committed set that was from Calvin Formiel. And there's more riders joining the party. Mikel Lamarck of Indy-Wheelers Motorsport, Calvin Formiel's teammate, is having an incredible race. He had a tough start, but watch out for the rider in P4. Indy-Wheelers, this is their best performing category, and there comes Mikel Lamarck, making his mark on the track, coming from a long way off to surprise Slade Manola. The Indy-Wheelers rider has moved up into P3, and Indy-Wheelers now have two riders in the top three. They desperately need these points. They desperately need this result in their quest to becoming a champion. It's been a tough road for them in the other two categories, but if you can maximize your points in one category, it really helps your case if you want to become the team champion, and that is what Indy-Wheelers are doing at this moment in time. We're seeing the best 250cc riders from across the world compete in this race, and here comes Lamarck. on the inside of Hugo Manzato. Two Frenchmen dueling yet again. Manzato above the orange KTM. Lamarck above the Yamaha of Indy Wheelers. Here comes Lamarck once more on the left-hander. You can see him aggressively trying to carve out space on the inside line. But Hugo Manzato is just so smart, not leaving any room whatsoever for Michael Lamarck to move up into P2. But this rhythm section could make the difference. Kevin Formiel is leading with a big margin, 2.2 seconds, and here comes Lamarck once more. He does not want to wait for a lap more. Michael Lamarck, Indy Wheelers Motorsport, is constantly sending it into every single corner. It's like Hugo Manzato knows what's coming, but he still can't do anything about it. What a move that was, but Hugo Manzato able to keep Michael Lamarck at bay. And the action is just going to a fever pitch here in Calicut. The time has elapsed. Only 2 more laps left to go in the final moto of the 250cc international category. This man right here has been absolutely untouchable. He did not quite get the TVS Apache hold shot. That belonged to rider number 27 aboard the orange tri-color KTM, Hugo Manzato. But still, Formiel is able to carve his gap. And in a matter of seconds, Kevin Formiel will take the final couple of corners and begin the last lap of this race. Behind him, his teammate Michael Lamarck has a point to prove. His teammate Calvin Formiel has been doing all the winning in the 250cc Asia international class. It's time for Michael Lamarck to get his own as well. He's already got 1 podium in this season. That came in the first round at Pune. Now Lamarck wants to go 1 better from P3 and get P2, and once again is looking for that inside line. He's reminding Hugo Manzato that I am there. You have to take me seriously. 1 lap left to go in the final moto of the 250cc international class. We could see a change for the podium, and every point matters. If you finish second, you get 17. If you finish third, you get 15. And as it stands, Indy Wheelers Motorsport need every last point if they want to become team champions. Here comes Michael Lamarck. He tried to make a move on the inside. Hugo Manzato keeps him at bay yet again. No matter what happens, this is going to be such an important race for Indy Wheelers. They started this round as the team to beat. They were in second, dropped back down after a tough couple of races in the other 2 categories. But now, victory belongs to Kevin Formiel. Once again, the French rider does the double in Calicut, and his teammate Michael Lamarck crosses the line in third. It's a very important 1 and 3 for Indy Wheelers Motorsport as they get a huge heap of points. And with that, Kevin Formiel is your new 250cc international champion in the Indian Supercross Racing League. Wow, wow, wow. Absolute domination from the 7-time French champion and the 1-time European champion as well. He was under pressure from Hugo Manzato of tri-color KTM, who get 1 more podium. But importantly, it is a 1 and 3 for Indy Wheelers, and Salman Khan clearly enjoyed that. What a battle it was for P1. And I'm pretty sure Bhaijan got a kick out of that as well. Incredible victory for Kevin Formiel, his 3rd win of the season. He takes a double in Calicut, and with that, rider number 11 is your new 250cc international champion. 1 and 3 for Indy Wheelers is a big deal in their championship quest. With that, Indy Wheelers Motorsport retakes the lead in the team championship, getting back onto P1 and stealing it away from Big Rock Motorsport. However, there's only a 5-point margin between them. And here's how it all went down. Kevin Formiel got a bit of a wheelie on his Yamaha of Indy Wheelers Motorsport. Did not quite have the TVS Apache hold shot, which went to his fellow countryman Hugo Manzato of tri-color KTM. But Calvin kept on trying and trying and trying and trying until he finally got that one big move. They fought hard right till the very end, both the Frenchmen. And at the end of that, Michael Lamarck, the teammate of Calvin Fauviel for Indy Wheelers, also made his attempts. But at the top, there was absolutely no touching Calvin Fauviel. Victory number 3 of the season, and Calvin Fauviel is now an Indian Supercross Racing League champion. Even Bhai appreciates it. There's the official overall standings at the end of the season for the 250cc international class. A 1 and 2 in the season for Indy Wheelers, with the 2 Frenchmen 1 and 2. Time for a quick break, folks. Don't go anywhere. Here we go then. One last moto for the 250cc Asia category. And the title battle is heavily in Del Victor Alvarez's favor. 3 Indonesians in the top 3, dominating a field full of the best of India, the best of South Korea, the best of Thailand, and the best of Sri Lanka. One last moto for the 250cc Asia category. This is where the Gujarat Trailblazers have the best shot. They have fallen back down to P3 in spite of starting this day as the leading team. Can they claw their way back into P1 in the team standings? The next moto will tell us a lot about this story. 4 minutes plus 2 laps, and this could determine the course of the entire championship. The Gujarat Trailblazers have a golden opportunity to return back up into P1. The gates are about to drop. And for one last time, the 250cc Asia category is underway. It's a lightning getaway from Mohammad Zidane of Indonesia. There's no riders falling down on the track apart from Zidane. Zidane goes down again. There's commotion and chaos at the second corner of this track. Mohammad Zidane, for the 5th time this season, has gone down from the lead of this race. Bad news for the Rice Dog Racers team, who finally saw a glimmer of opportunity for their rider to win this race. The TVS Apache hold shot goes to Mohammad Zidane, but what advantage do you have of a hold shot if you cannot finish the first lap? So tricky, and behind them, Delvinter Albanese is fighting an Indian rider, Shlok Kodpade, the best Indian rider in the field right now, is up into P2, fighting with the best from Indonesia. But P1 belongs to the champion from last year, Tanarat Benjan. Here's what went down at the start. Once the yellow and black Kawasaki of Rice Dog Racers, Mohammad Zidane had an incredible getaway. He slithered his way up into P1 and then made contact with Benjan, and that's how he fell down. Another rider is down. And the Sidwatra of BB Racing is down from 4th place. That is bad news for BB Racing. They are fighting for a team championship, and 4th place gives you so many points. Delvinter Albanese was also involved in this. There is madness everywhere in the final moto of the 250cc Asia class. And Benjan, Tanarat Benjan nearly crashed. Your race leader, Tanarat Benjan, nearly crashed on the rhythm section. That was so dangerous. Wow, there is madness everywhere. Tanarat Benjan nearly went down. But guys, this is a landmark moment. Shlok Kodpade of India is currently in P2. What a performance it's turning out to be from Shlok Kodpade, who wasn't even supposed to race in the championship. He came in as an injury replacement, and the 7-time national champion is now in 2nd place. An Indian rider is currently on the podium. That's Shlok Kodpade, rider number 33, above that BB Racing 250cc Honda. But he's under pressure from Nakami Makarim, who has the momentum, who has the run, and might soon also get the position. They go side by side of the berm. Shlok Kodpade is able to get a good exit, but Nakami Makarim has an incredible run. Shlok will have to do something special on the braking of this jump, and there he goes down. A small error from Shlok Kodpade. He's lost the podium place, and he gets passed by Winston Salangam of Indonesia. Oh, it was spontaneous last year, but Shlok Kodpade has unfortunately lost his podium places. Nonetheless, P4 would still be the best finish by any Indian rider in the history of the Indian Supercross Racing League. However, the lead belongs to last year's champion, Tanarat Benjan. And this is such an important day for Big Rock Motorsport. Remember, a few motors ago, they became the championship leaders. Then that lead went back down, and Indy Wheelers, after the last moto, took the championship lead. Big Rock are about to take that lead back with this 1 and 2 finish for Tanarat Benjan and Nakami Makarim. At the start of the season, Tanarat Benjan was injured. He rode in Pune in spite of not being at 100%. He was ill, his bones were fading, his muscles were aching, but he still competed. We wondered, is this the same Tanarat Benjan? Has he lost all his pace? He clearly did not, because afterwards, he was able to turn it around. And after a decent performance in Hyderabad a couple of weeks ago, Tanarat Benjan has turned out to be the stellar rider here in Kohikode's 2nd moto. The time has elapsed. Only 2 more minutes left to go in the final moto of the season for the India-Asia category. Winston Salangam is getting close though on Nakami Makarim. The 2 Indonesian riders giving it their best, but currently they are behind the Thai superstar, the reigning defending riders champion in the 250cc Asia category. It's Tanarat Benjan of Big Rock Motorsport, and Big Rock needs this 1 and 2. Remember guys, it's Big Rock versus Indy Wheelers, not just in this race, but also in the team championship. Indy Wheelers have stolen the championship lead away from Big Rock in the last moto. If Winston Salangam is able to pass Nakami Makarim, the Indy Wheelers team will rejoice because they will get a couple of extra points, which will go a long way in Indy Wheelers' quest to become champions. And there comes the move. Winston Salangam making a big move for Indy Wheelers, goes from 3rd to 2nd, and they will relish every single bit of that. Indy Wheelers need all the points. They need every single point they can earn to become the champions. And Big Rock Motorsport, in spite of being 1 and 2 for the entirety of the race, might now only get 1 and 3 unless Nakami Makarim can pull out something special. The white flag is out. 1 last lap left to go for Tanarat Benjan. This is an important one. Tanurat Benjan was last year's champion. His injury did not help him be at 100%. We were all wondering, is he good enough still? He's now on course to get Big Rock, another championship, and there comes the move. Nakami Makarim feels the intensity. He wants to make sure that Big Rock Motorsport becomes defending champion, but Vincent Salangam is just not in any mood to let this position go. Not a lot of time left for Nakami Makarim, who's riding with a dislocated hip and a broken wrist to be able to get that position. That's right, Nakami Makarim in number 3 on that Big Rock Racing number 21 bike is riding with a dislocated hip and a broken wrist. Even still, he's in P3. But all the stars will go to his teammate. Tanurat Benjan wins once again. Last year's champion is a winner once more, and he gets crucial points for Big Rock Motorsport. A 1 and 3 for Big Rock as they take one giant leap towards retaining their Indian Supercross Racing League Team Championship. Big Rock Motorsport will be celebrating incredibly hard, but there is a thorn in their story, and that is the rider in second place, Vincent Salangam, who gets some really important points for Indy wheelers. But you can never count out Tanurat Benjan. Last year's riders champion is now a race winner, but we need to crown a riders champion of this season 2 in the 250cc Asia class. Let's showcase him. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, your champion in the 250cc Asia category for 2025. The Indonesian Delvintor Alvarezi has won it for Gujarat Trailblazers. What a result for Delvintor Alvarezi. He finished this race in P6, but now walks home as the champion in the 250cc Asia class. And the Gujarat Trailblazers team recognizes the importance of that. That's Julian Lebeau's teammate celebrating with him. And the Gujarat Trailblazers, after being one of the worst performing team last year, have now got a champion in their mix. Delvintor Alvarezi, you can celebrate. You make Indonesia proud. You are a champion in the Indian Supercross Racing League. And that's his teammate Ben Holgren, who crashed in the first moto, coming out there to support him, to applaud him. What great teamwork. Ben Holgren finishing 5th in spite of crashing in the last moto, in spite of riding through all the pain. But the plaudits must go to our champion, and here's how we crowned it. The whole shot belonged to Mohammad Sidan, but Tanurat Benjan was able to get the lead, and Shlok Korpade, rider number 33, getting the advantage. That's Ben Holgren being hit behind by Atherson Ruadro. That was a bad crash. But at the top it was clean. Shlok Korpade got past by Nakami Makarim, who got a dislocated hip and a broken wrist yesterday. Still competing, still fighting. And Tanurat Benjan, at last, taking victory for the first time this season and giving some critical points for Big Rock. Let's not forget, guys, Shlok Korpade is in the top 5, an Indian rider in the top 5 as well. There's news to celebrate, but we have a new champion in Delvintor Alvarezi. One last motor left to go. Don't go anywhere, folks. Coming back soon. We are back. Welcome everyone to the Indian Supercross Racing League. And what a moment this is going to be. The final race of the entire season. This will determine who walks out as not just your 450cc international champion, but also your champion of the Indian Supercross Racing League. Matt Moss is rider number 1 for a reason. He won the championship last year for Big Rock Motorsport, and after getting a 1 and 2 in the last moto, 1 and 3, my apologies, Big Rock Motorsport have a chance to steal their second Indian Supercross Racing League championship. But this guy will make it tough. Rider 911, Jordi Tixia, even Anthony Bourdon, who was a double winner in Hyderabad, will look to mix things up in the final moto of the season. This, folks, is the most important moto of the entire season. The best riders in the world who race in Paris, in Dortmund, in Abu Dhabi, in Anaheim, in Melbourne, in Sydney, now will go racing one last time this year in India. We are about to crown our champion. Get ready, folks. Be on the edge of your feet, because for one last time, the Indian Supercross Racing League is going racing. We're underway for the 450cc international class. Turn 1 is hectic as usual, but every single rider gets away cleanly. The cleanest getaway goes to rider number 137. That's Adrian Escoffier for the Gujarat Trailblazers team. And look, he's got competition already. Indy-Wheelers Motorsport with rider number 72, Lucas Imbert, with firm competition. The Divya Sabache whole shot goes to Adrian Escoffier, but the whole shot means nothing if you're not able to win the race. And that is the challenge for Adrian Escoffier. But behind them comes a charging Matt Moss. He's able to take second place with a big lunge from a long way off. And last year's champion, the 9-time Aussie champion, is up into P2. And Big Rock have a man in the top 3. It's a 4.5-minute plus 2-lap motos, and time is a premium in this race. Look at the intensity with which all these riders are racing. The top 3 are just so close together and make it a top 4, because joining the Smarty is rider number 111, Jordi Tixia. Here comes Matt Moss though. Matt Moss for Big Rock Motorsport is looking ever so close into getting in the lead. They cross the finish line jump, and Matt Moss will pick this moment. He will move up into P1. A 4-way fight for P1. Matt Moss has picked this moment, and his biggest rival of the entire season, his biggest rival of the entire championship, Jordi Tixia, has also made a move, and he's up into P3 after having lost the best start. And look, the inside line is the line of choice for rider 137, Adrian Escoffier. Escoffier got the Divya Sabache hold shot, lost the lead to Matt Moss, and is fervently trying to take it back from the 9-time Aussie champion. 5 different teams in the top 5. This is the level of competition in the Indian Supercross Racing League. And Matt Moss, importantly, taking away the lead at the first lap. And he almost went down. Matt Moss nearly went down. A mistake from the leader could see the lead change. Big Rock Motorsport could see their lead rider lose P1, and Adrian Escoffier almost went into P1, and Jordi Tixia says, right, this is an opportunity for me. I'm going to take P1 for myself. Adrian Escoffier aboard that number 137 Gujarat Trailblazers bike can smell blood. He's riding that KTM 450cc machine and can absolutely smell the fumes from that Kawasaki that Matt Moss is riding for Big Rock Motorsport. And Jordi Tixia consistently taking a wider line across that corner, trying to make sure he gets more momentum, but isn't able to get a move done on the rider in P2, Adrian Escoffier. But that could all change right now. Jordi Tixia is trying to come back. This is a crucial moment. Tixia is closer than he's ever been. We have not seen a battle for the top 4 be this close at any moment this season. 4 riders within 2 seconds. This is what the Indian Supercross Racing League is all about. John Short has moved his way up into P5. So now we have 4 different teams in the top 4, and John Short critically getting important points for Big Rocks. 1 extra point compared to BB Racing because Anthony Bourdon is in P6. Remember folks, we're fighting for a team championship, and in a team championship where we've already had 3 different teams lead the championship today, every point counts. So John Short's P5 is so important, and for him to get up ahead of Lucas Simber into P4, that's John Short's mission. He won the last photo. Now John Short needs to find his way up in the top 3 to guarantee that Big Rock Motorsport can defend the Indian Supercross Racing League title. Johnny Dixia is getting closer once again. You can sense the excitement. Dixia is gaining, but there's a mistake. There's a mistake from Johnny Dixia. The BB Racing rider, the most successful rider in the history of this championship, has made a mistake, and that opens up the door for India-Asia Motorsport to get 2 extra points. So now it's not Johnny Dixia, it's Lucas Simber for India-Asia Motorsport up into P3, and this could be crucial for the championship fight. How rare is that? How rare is it to see the man with the most wins in the history of this championship making a mistake? But if there's one thing you know about Johnny Dixia, is that if he makes a mistake, he makes sure to make up for it. But Lucas Simber was there, present and ready to make the most of Dixia's mistake. But here comes Johnny again. There was the mistake from Johnny Dixia, losing control of his bike while trying to find out Adrian Escoffier. And in the quest to find a position, he ended up losing 1 position. So now, Dixia has got to make up for his mistake. And the next rider on the shortlist is Lucas Simber. This could go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. 4 riders in 2 seconds. We could see anyone win this race. But the rider with the most composure, the rider who made a decisive move at the first lap, the rider who's not made a single mistake this race, has been rider number 1, the champion of last year, Big Rock Motorsport star, the legend from Australia, and 9-time Aussie champion, Matt Moss. And he is just 1 lap away now from taking victory and taking Big Rock Motorsport to a 2nd championship title. The white flag is up in the air. 1 last lap left in this entire season. Dixia has lost another position. He's let Anthony Bourdon course past. That's the 2 BB Racing riders. Dixia must defend from John Short. Every point matters, and that's a Big Rock rider gaining another position. This will be vital for the championship. Only a few corners left to go, and this is such a fairy tale story. Matt Moss started off this season with a win, and he was down on the ground. He was injured, he was seeing hazy visions, he was puking before the race, but he still went on. After that victory in Pune, Moss wins again in India. He's a winner in Calicut, and Matt Moss is your new 2025 450cc International Champion. Matt Moss has won the championship yet again. The only rider to defend his Riders' Championship. The 9-time Aussie champion is now a 2-time Indian champion. Matt Moss is a winner, and he's a champion once again in the Indian Supercross Racing League. Even Salman Khan was not ready for action like this. And what a fairy tale story. From being sick and puking before the race in Pune to win that, to now becoming the only rider in the history of this championship to defend this championship. Matt Moss is your champion, a 2-time champion in India. He's proven himself in Australia, and now he's cemented himself as a legend in India. Big Rock Motorsports' rider, Big Rock Motorsports' star, has made sure that that team is right up in the team's title as well. Look at the smile on Mossy's face. What a tough season it's been for him. from not being selected for a ride in Australia, from being left behind by all the top teams, from being called too old to compete at the top level, Matt Moss has proven all his haters wrong. One by one, Matt Moss has proven all his doubters wrong. And what a showman he is, giving back to the crowd who supported him right from the very beginning of this entire championship. Matt Moss, your champion, and now a certified legend in India by becoming a two-time Indian Supercross League champion. There's a reason why he wears that #1 plate. The #1 plate belongs to the champion. And what kind of a champion doesn't come back to defend it in style? There goes the wheelies, there come the smiles. And with that, we can call a champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Moss has done it. He was not always the fastest rider, but he's always made sure that he's been the most consistent. He's never finished outside the top 2. And with that, we can crown a team's champion. Only by 6 points. Big Rock Motorsport are your new 2025 team's champion. They have defended their title from last year. And now, Big Rock Motorsport can call themselves two-time Indian Supercross Racing League team's champions. Wow, wow, wow. Look at the smile of the team principal, Ashok George. They have defended their title successfully. After the first round, we were wondering, have Big Rock Motorsport got it? They had a tough round 1 with Thanurat Benjan not winning a race. They did not quite win a race with the 250cc international riders too. But this guy, Matt Moss, has been carrying the Big Rock Motorsport flag and now has taken that team to a championship. What does Salman Khan feel about it? Let's find out. Go downstairs with Sagarika.
I'm honored to be in the company of the brand ambassador of Indian Supercross Racing League, Mr. Salman Khan, here with us. Salman, you were with us in Hyderabad. You are here in Calicut. How does it feel and how much have you enjoyed the races watching it live?
It feels great being here. I love it here. I like the energy of the crowd. And I think these guys have ridden so well.
Right.
I was actually scared for the guys who fell, but they just got up and started riding again. It's just such a great vibe to this sport, and everyone here was enjoying it.
Right, Indian Supercross Racing League, where the international riders here with a mix of Indian riders. What would you like to tell the riders, the franchise owners who have organized this and the league itself?
I just think this league has already taken off, and I just think that the Indian riders will get, you know, a lot more competition. They'll get to compete with the riders who are from the international riders, and I think they'll get better and better every race.
Right. What has impressed you the most about Indian Supercross Racing League? Watching the tracks right here, watching the riders do what they're best at.
So the most amazing thing is this track has been put up in 3 days, and now the next 3 days is going to be taken off. This used to be a football stadium. It's going to go back to a football stadium. There's a lot of effort here. There's a lot of hard work here. They've organized these races really, really well.
Salman, your message to the fans who have come here in huge numbers to support the league and, of course, watch you live as well.
I think if you need to ride fast, you ride safe, you ride on tracks like this with full safety gear.
Thank you so much for being with us and chatting with us. Thank you. It's been an honor.
You're welcome, and you dress like a rider yourself.
Thank you very much.
Even Salman Khan is impressed by the effort of the entire league and by the effort of this gentleman. Big Rock Motorsport are now two-time champions. And look at the front of his bike. Look at the front of his bike. Look at the top of his handle. J.O. Archer is Matt Moss's incredible friend who he lost last year. Moss has celebrated him with an incredible victory, becoming champion again. Time for a short break, folks. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back everyone to Calicut. This is the EMS Corporation Stadium where we finally have a champion. Over 30,000 people have packed their way here in Calicut to watch the best riders from across the world showcase their Supercross talent. And at the end they have finally seen a champion. This guy won last year. Now he's a champion for the second time in India. Matt Moss. What a season it's been for the Aussie legend. And what a tough journey it's been for Matt Moss. He's one of the most experienced riders in the world and now gets to touch the Indian Supercross Racing League trophy for a second time. And oh, he has earned it. And he's a fan favorite as well. Matt Moss celebrating Big Rock Motorsports' second team championship with all the fans here in Calicut. And here's how it all went down. That's the start of the 450cc International Moto, the final race of the year. The whole shot went to EMS Corporation of Gujarat Trailblazers. But after that, Matt Moss came charging. He steamed his way past and with one decisive move was able to change the story of the entire season. And this mistake cost the Jordy Dixon and BB Racing so much. Then there was contact between Anthony Bordeaux and John Short. In spite of that, Big Rock Motorsport were able to get the win. And now are your new defending team champions. And what a crowd we've got here in Calicut. Boys and girls, men and women, young people and all, everyone has come here to celebrate motorsport. And that is what the Indian Supercross Racing League is all about. Bringing motorsport to the people at these incredible stadiums. And also an opportunity to our Indian talent, our Indian riders, our Indian mechanics, our Indian marshals, our Indian stewards. Everyone gets to compete at a world level. That is the advantage of a spectacle like the Indian Supercross Racing League. Here is the 250cc International Moto that went down as well. Whole shot went to Hugo Manzato of the tricolour KTM team. And the Frenchman had to fight with his compatriot Calvin Formiel, who was on fire. Once Calvin Formiel came knocking, there was nothing Manzato could do to hold him back. Making a big move on the inside. Once he was out, he was out. Formiel, with his third win of the season, is your 250cc International Champion for the Indy Wheelers Motorsport team. These fans have witnessed riders from France, Australia, USA, India, Thailand, Indonesia, Australia, New Zealand. So many countries represented in India. World-class sporting talent here in India. World-class Supercross bikes in India. World-class Supercross tracks made in our very own India. We must be proud of an incredible spectacle that's been pulled off by the entire Indian Supercross Racing League team. The fans have enjoyed their heart out. They've stayed right there till the very end. And we'll be back with more. Don't go anywhere, folks. What a day we've had so far at the EMS Corporation Stadium in Calicut. And it just keeps on getting better and better and better and better. Time for Sebastian and the FMX show. That's the whole ISRL experience. You don't just get racing, you don't just get to see all the Indian talents showcase their class. You don't just get to see the best foreign riders go racing. You also get to see an action-packed freestyle motocross show from Sebastian. That's the Scorpion. Wow, incredible. Incredible stunts from Sebastian in Westberg aboard his Kawasaki. And that's the whole part of the ISRL experience. Every single round we've had Sebastian and Thomas entertaining their crowds with their incredible stunts, with their heel taps, with their scorpions, and that too, Superman mode. But behind the scenes, we see the party already beginning at Big Rock Motorsport, and why shouldn't it? They have retained their Indian Supercross Racing League Championship. That guy, Nakami Makarim, rode through a dislocated hip and a broken wrist to still be able to make sure that Big Rock are champions. There is Nakami Makarim of Indonesia. And what a team it is. Indonesians, Thai riders, Australians, Americans, all coming together to make Big Rock Motorsport a champion team for the second year in a row. The owners of Big Rock Motorsport celebrating together. What a moment it has been for them. They started off as a dirt park on the outskirts of Bangalore, and now they are a two-time ISRL championship winning team. Wonderful. And that's the team principal Ashok George celebrating after defending his title successfully. And this guy is the star of the occasion, Matt Moss, two-time ISRL champion, nine-time Australian champion as well. What a star-studded lineup Big Rock Motorsport have. And the fans acknowledge that Kerala has such a rich motorsport heritage. And this is how the day has unfolded in Calicut. Calvin Forviel becoming your 250cc international champion in style. He has been flawless, untouchable, not made a single mistake this whole season. Started the season with a podium, now three-time race winner, and along with being a seven-time French champion, can now also call himself an ISRL champion. And then in the 250cc Asia class, oh, what a chaotic day it was. But one that ended with Del Vintor Alfarisi sealing the championship in the 250cc Asia India category. And then we came to the big boys, the 450cc international class, where John Short started the day with his first victory in India, a decisive one that took Big Rock Motorsport to their second ISRL championship. Had John Short not won this one, things would have been so much trickier for Big Rock Motorsport to become champions for the second season in a row. And then came by Salman Khan, raising the occasion, bringing some star-studdedness to this entire show. Then the second round of motos began, where Calvin Forviel yet again set the bar and won another moto. Seven-time French champion, one-time European champion, one-time Indian champion too. Calvin Forviel is a star for Indy Wheelers and Yamaha. Chaos was the word in the 250cc Asia category, and Thanarat Benjan nearly fell, and he survived that to still finish as your winner in the final moto in this category, getting a 1 and 3 for Big Rock with that team. making sure they deliver on the big day. 1-3 for Big Rock, led home by last year's 250cc Asia champion, Salman Khan. Del Winter Alfarisi though, got the crowning moment, becoming a champion in India, an Indonesian rider winning here in India. And then the final moto of the entire season, perhaps the most competitive one. Matt Moss chasing down Adrian Escoffier, who got the TVS Apache hold shot. And Matt Moss nearly crashed, but the mark of a champion is how they recover from challenges. Moss did that, and now is a two-time ISRL champion. And what a beautiful trophy they've got. That belongs to this team, a multicultural unit, with people from India, from Indonesia, Thailand, Australia and the USA coming together to make Big Rock Motorsport your defending and now your two-time ISRL champions. And the crowd is on their feet. Thank you, Kerala. Thank you, Kozhikode. Thank you so much to every single motorsport fan here who has made this event a reality. We've all heard stories of the passion of the automotive and motorcycling culture here in Kerala. And this is the perfect example of it. All of Kerala, all of Calicut is on their feet to celebrate its champions. And their champions are Big Rock Motorsport. There's the winning team. There's the unit who've put together such a challenging season and have delivered on the day when it matters the most. 4, in fact, let's count it down. Matt Moss is a race winner. Nakami Makarim is a race winner. Thanarat Penchan is a race winner. Slade Barola is a race winner. Sean Short is a race winner. And they're calling for Matt Moss. They're calling for their legend. They're calling for Matt Moss, who takes Big Rock Motorsport to their second ISRL title. What a moment for celebration for this team. The only team to win the Indian Supercross Racing League Championship twice. Big Rock, Big Rock, Big Rock, Big Rock, Big Rock, Big Rock. What a moment. What a moment. The action doesn't continue. We've got to present the trophy to our champions. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after a short break. don't have an
Well, here we are. Championship has been announced, and it's a deja vu moment because Big Rock Motorsports takes it away, even in Season 2 of Indian Supercross Racing League. And there we have Matt Moss smiling away with Salman Khan, the man who has been consistent, Matt Moss, throughout Season 1, the champion, and as well as in Season 2. How does this feel, Rustam?
Well, honestly, I'm out of words because Big Rock was third. They were not leading, but the way they have grabbed the points in the final mega round is unreal. And the best part was most of the motos, they were getting the riders in top 2. So they were getting the full Monty. They were scoring maximum points for the team. And last time also I told you, the team that comes first and second, they grab maximum points. And this is exactly what Big Rock did. They have come from third spot to first spot. They have they were whipping their riders. Their riders were doing great, especially Matt Moss. He is a golden boy in the Big Rock. Hats off to Big Rock to win it the second year in a row. It is unbelievable. And the best part, the racing was mind-blowing, especially the last race. We had 7 riders fighting for the first spot.
Right, absolutely. And this is an unbelievable moment for the champions, Big Rock Motorsports. And I had a brief chat with CS Santosh in the pits after they won the championship. And he did mention to me that he cannot believe it himself that they have won this. Right, Saumil, how did you look at this and the way Big Rock Motorsports came back like a champion?
It's such a team effort. It is such a team effort. And they are a team that have brought together riders from so many different countries. You see Thai people, you see Indonesians, you see Australians, Americans, Indians, everyone coming together to make this team a championship winning team. Matt Moss has literally sweat blood, tears, everything you could imagine, everything you could ask from a rider, Rustam. We've seen him put it all on the ground. And this is the culmination of it. Only team to win the championship 2 times. What an achievement, isn't it?
Absolutely, I'm out of words out here because they were looking quite behind. They were running third and the other teams were much ahead. But the way these riders have pulled out a great show in the 250 International, 250 Asia, and especially the last race where Matt Moss killed it. That is where they got maximum points. Hats off to Big Rock, yeah?
Absolutely. We've also got to give it to John Short, who did show up for the team today, got a podium finish and really kind of lessened the difference of points between the teams, isn't it, Saumil?
Yeah, exactly. And the best part about Big Rock Motorsport, as you rightly mentioned, Sagarika, is showing up on the big occasion. We saw that from Matt Moss, importantly from John Short, who had a very tough season. All throughout, we were all wondering, when will Matt Moss's teammate John Short deliver? He delivered on the big occasion, the final day. That's where he got to win. And by the way, he could have been on the podium in the last race as well. So the biggest performers, the clutch performers, come up in clutch moments. That's what we saw from him and also from Thanarat Benjan, who once again got back to victory lane.
Absolutely, after the crash, the way he came back. And I think this is what is the beauty of Supercross and motorsports, that you crash but you don't give up. And this is the moment, ladies and gentlemen, months of hard work, the way Big Rock Motorsports have proved to everyone that they are the champions of Indian Supercross Racing League Season 2, and everyone on that stage, every smile, it really means a lot to this team, the way they have put together their racers, the way the racers have raced it out, and now glory is all theirs to take.
Well, I am completely out of words out here. Look at the way these guys are jumping out here. And this is the second time we see Big Rock jumping it again. And if they do it the third year, it's going to be a hat-trick. So I would only advise all the team owners to pull up their socks, because if Big Rock wins it 3 times in a row, it's going to be a hat-trick.
Exactly, exactly. And what I love about Big Rock is their approach to scouting. They've been one of the very few teams to have a network of people in the global Supercross world to go watch the riders, to go find out what they're doing year long, when they're racing in Australia, when they're racing in the US, when they're racing in France, to watch every single race and to give reports. And that's how they've assembled a good team.
Absolutely, and everybody on the podium right now, on the stage with that trophy. This is what they have worked hard for, and this is what they have sweated out, fighted it out, and the best battles that we've seen on the tracks, whether it's Pune, whether it's Hyderabad, whether it's Calicut, the way the boys have come back and shown resilience, shown the determination. This is is what it means to them.
Well, definitely, but I'm very impressed with John Short.
Yeah.
John Short, he suddenly just came from nowhere and he actually had a lead over Matt Moss, the Aussie multiple times champ, and he made a 30-meter lead over Matt Moss. So John Short has won my heart. He was riding brilliant. As I was on the field, I saw him ride. He was so smooth. He didn't make any mistakes. I'm totally impressed with John Short for sure.
You know, the impressive part about John Short is he's coming from over half a season of missing racing. Normally, your American riders would start racing in January. John Short started the season in August. So he's missed a half year of racing. In spite of that, he's given in so much to Big Rock Motorsport on the last decisive day. And I spoke to him earlier. I went to his pit garage and I was asking him, John, what's the mood like? Like, are we finally going to see you on the podium today? Is it finally happening? He said, I really love it when there's a big crowd and when I can entertain the crowd. 30,000 people in Calicut, and he entertained them, Sagarika.
Absolutely, and let me tell everyone watching us right now, not a single seat is empty. We have fans right now in the stands watching this live, watching the trophy being lifted, and of course with Salman Khan being in the house. This is an absolutely amazing moment for Indian Supercross Racing League. This is a big deal, and the way Big Rock Motorsports have shown their mettle, shown their prowess of why they are the champions. And of course, we have to talk about Nakami Makarim as well, who did really put in that effort, whether it was Hyderabad or it was today. He really did show up for his team, and that made a lot of difference as well, Salman.
I don't get it, Rustam. How do you race with a dislocated hip and a broken wrist and still end up getting a podium? That's what Makarim did today.
Well, that is exactly what I tell you, that every rider is not a rider. They're warriors. And what happens in a war? When you get injured, you still fight. So this is exactly compared to war. This is war. It's war for riders. It's their sweat, their blood, their life that they put on stake over here. And this is exactly what ISRL is delivering out here. And this is history in India. India has never ever seen 30,000 fans. India has never ever seen world champions right in front of them on this amazing track. And the way they were hitting the triples, the quads, the whoop-de-doo sections, I was totally amazed. The world champions have shown India what is actually Supercross.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, and kudos to all the organizers who have put this together. The team wins, the riders race and win it for their particular category, but it is behind the scenes, the way the team is built. Every racer brought from their respective country, made a team, whether it's back end, where all the supporters, the support staff, everyone who takes care of the bikes, the technical staff, absolutely amazing, and kudos to them and the team behind.
Yeah, and one rider in the 250cc Asia class has been able to pull up his socks. Del Vinto and Alfarisi. This category has been the chaos category, where riders have been following left, right, and center. There's been so much madness happening here. But that's what we all say, don't we? That the calmest riders are able to deliver in the chaos. And Ben Holgren and Del Vinto Alfarisi were the two riders who were able to manage the calm very well. Until the last round, because Ben Holgren clearly lost his cool. He crashed once, and then afterwards he got a couple of people hitting him as well. That's just unfortunate, but that's what Del Vinto was able to be calm all across somehow.
Well, I saw the crash of Ben. He was almost coming to the second spot. But unfortunately, after the whoop-de-doo section, what happened was that he didn't have enough speed to clear the triple. And that is exactly what was the problem. And definitely the 250 international category, we had a lot of falls, but that's a part and parcel of racing. And that is exactly what ISRL has delivered. Riders were falling, tumbling down, but they were getting up and they were getting back on the bike. And that is actual racing. That is actually what racers are made of. They are warriors.
Absolutely warriors. Matt Moss right on top for Big Rock Motorsports. Mr. Consistent for Big Rock. And of course, John Short, kudos to him. But it mattered the most. He did show up for his team. And if you look at the standings at the end of the grand finale, Big Rock Motorsports with 371 points, becoming the champions of Season 2 of Indian Supercross Racing League. Indy Wheelers on second position. You've got to feel it for Calvin, who had been really consistent for his team throughout, whether it was Pune, Hyderabad, or today even in Calicut.
Yeah, you've got to be for Captain Formula, but at the end, it's a team that makes the dream come true. And that's what's happened. Salman Khan acknowledging the team who's made the dream come true for Big Rock Motorsport. What a moment it is. A superstar acknowledging another superstar team. What a lineup. And I love how multicultural they are. I like, they've made the Indonesians and the Thai riders feel so at home. And I always believe that you don't win the championship with your star riders, you win it with the inexperienced riders. How are you able to lift their performance level up? And mind you, they've been one of the best teams to do so across both the seasons now, Sagarika.
Absolutely. And one thing's for sure, we're going to go home with a big smile. Final thoughts, Rustam?
Well, all I can say is ISRL, hats off to you guys. And most importantly, events cannot happen by one person. It's a team effort. The marshals are never appreciated.
Yep.
Every single marshal had to work double because there were a lot of crashes today, especially on the start line. And they are the real people who are there on the track, helping the riders get back on the thing. Then we had our medical team. Hats off to every single team owner who's taking such good care of their riders, giving them the best bikes, the best suspension, everything the best. And this can only be seen in ISRL. Let me tell you, I can openly say it on TV. Today, history has been created in India, and I can officially say it. Calicut, ISRL is a day in history in India. India has never, ever, ever seen anything like this ever before.
Well, Rustam has summed it up for all of us. It's been a pleasure, Saumil. It's been a pleasure, Rustam. Thank you so much for watching and supporting Indian Supercross Racing League. It only gets bigger and better. For now, it's good night.
You teach me how to love and learn. There'll be nothing left for me to yearn. Think of me a burn and let me hold your hand. I don't wanna face the world in tears. Please take again, I'm on my knees. Sing that song to me, no reason to repent. I think we'll say this is the
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are about to begin with the prize distribution. Well, you saw all the riders wearing their helmets. Now you all will be able to see their faces because all the riders are always wearing a helmet. So finally, you will get to see their faces when they come to collect their prizes. So we have 250cc international category, which we'll begin with. Then we'll go with the 250cc India-Asia mixed category. And last but not the least, we'll be going with the 450cc category. Okay. I would request all the winners to please come on the left side of the stage so we can see you all over here. Yeah, please, over here on the left side. Can we have the riders who have won? Can you all please come on the left side? Can we have Calvin, Hugo, and Julian? Can we please have these three riders over here? Can we please have Dan Vitor, Nakami, and Vid Sarut? Please, can you all come here? Can we please also have Matt Moss, Jordi Tixier, and John Short, please? Request all the prize winners to please come on my left. Requesting all the prize winners to please come on my left. Once again, requesting all the prize winners to please come here on my left. So we are about to start with the prize distribution. Requesting all the prize winners to please come towards the podium ceremony because we are about to begin with the prize distribution.
waiting for the vibe. Are you down for the vibe? Oh, we don't say bye-bye. You can see my eyes, then I'm on the rise. Oh, I believe by the lights. Your body be smiling, oh. These are the nights I love. 'Cause you know, baby, I adore you. I adore you. Can't ignore you. Can't ignore you. Body, I need my soul and I'm out of control. I can't. I adore you. I adore you. I do. Baby, I adore you. I adore you. I do. Baby, I adore you. I adore you. I do. Baby, I adore you. I adore you. I do. Baby, I adore you. I adore you. I do. I adore you. I adore you. I do. It feels like I'm falling in love, maybe for the first time. Maybe it's my mind. I know I'm not was born to kill. Any angel on my windowsill, but it's so dark inside. I throw the windows wide. I know that in this kind of scene of two people, there's a spark between. One gets torn apart, one gets a broken heart. It feels like I'm
right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the moment of truth, the moment we all were waiting for is, of course, the prize distribution. The one that all the riders have sweated it out, fought it out with multiple falls and still getting up on the bike and going on the podium. That's the spirit. They are not only riders, I would call them warriors in my language, because they are actually warriors. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to start with the prize distribution, and we would like to start with the 250cc international category. So we are about to begin the podium ceremony, and to do the honors, we're going to have Mr. Ashwin Lokhande, who's going to be giving away the prizes. In the third place, from Apollo Indy Wheelers Motorsports, can we please have Mikael Lamarck? Can we please have Mikael Lamarck in the third spot, representing Apollo Indy Wheelers Motorsports. In the second spot, absolutely brilliantly rode, representing Tricolor Motorsports, can we have Hugo Manzato? And ladies and gentlemen, the heavyweight big winner in the first spot, who was absolutely unchallenged, representing Apollo Indy Wheelers Motorsports, Calvin Fonville. And to give away the honors, Mr. Ashwin Lokhande is going to give away the prize. All right, amazing trophies once again, ladies and gentlemen. Mikael Landmark. Whoa. Absolutely well deserved. In the second spot, Hugo Manzato, representing Tricolor Motorsports. And your undisputed champ, Calvin Fonville, representing Apollo Indy Wheelers Motorsports. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we can clap louder. All right. What a treat to watch these riders ride. And most importantly, guys, look at the fitness in every single rider out here. This is the secret. You got to be fit to be in Supercross. Mind-blowing fitness, yeah? Let me also tell you guys, every single Supercross rider is the fittest athlete in the world. Thank you. Thank you. All right, quickly moving on to 250cc India-Asia. Next category. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, quickly moving on to the 250cc India-Asia mix. Over here, can we please have Thanarat Panjan representing Big Rock? Then we have Vitsarut in the second spot. From Apollo Indy Wheelers Motorsports. And in the third spot, we got Nakami Vidhi from Big Rock. Can we please have these three riders on the podium? And to do the honors, would like to request Mrs. Nisha Patel to please come up on stage. Yes, that is absolutely a treat to watch. The Big Rock guys have scored every single point in the bag out here. Brilliant stuff, brilliant. That's your winner, Thanarat Penjan from Big Rock. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. All right, yes. Thank you, riders. Thank you so much. It was such a treat to watch you guys ride so well. All right, quickly moving on to the 450cc international category. All right. In the third place, we got John Short representing Big Rock. In the third spot for the 450cc international category. In the second spot, we have Jordi Tixier from BB Racing. And in the first spot, we got the multiple times Aussie champ, Matt Moss, representing Big Rock. Can we please have these three champs on the podium ceremony, please? And to present the awards, let's welcome Veer Patel. All right, in the third spot, we got John Short out here. What a brilliant ride. In the second spot, we got Jordi Tixier representing BB Racing. And the heavyweight winner, who always wins in almost every round, who grabs the whole shot and vanishes. Let's hear it for Matt Moss, representing Big Rock Motorsports.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank all the competitors, and then obviously the teams, the new team, the Indy Wheelers, close second. Then the Indian Supercross League, thank you so much. Tonight is probably a tribute to you guys, a full crowd, and it's signs for what's to come. I think you're going to run an amazing series for, I'm getting 37, so maybe a couple more, and then my team, Big Rock with the big hearts. We were down all year. We were never sitting in the #1 spot, and tribute to our whole team, everyone, the owners. We dug deep, and that's what we do at Big Rock. We ended up winning the championship, but so thank you so much, and thank you for everyone that's a part of this. This is a big thing, and I'm sure it's going to grow and turn into such a success. So thanks, everyone, and see you next year.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. The 450cc category. They definitely deserve more round of applause, guys. Santosh, a very, very happy man. Look at the smile on his face. Matt Moss has always delivered maximum points for Big Rock. What an investment on Matt Moss. Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, quickly moving on to the overall winners. That means the championship winners. The riders having the maximum points in round 1, round 2, plus round 3. The total of points is the championship winners. All right, so going from 3 to 1, can we please have Julian Lebeau Mikkel Lamarck and Calvin Fournier on the podium, please, for the overall championship. And to give away the honors, can we please have Mr. Navid, my friend, can we please have you for the prize distribution, please? These are the overall championship results. The riders with the maximum. Champion, ladies and gentlemen, from Apollo Indy Wheelers Motorsports. The champion with the maximum points, proudly picking up his trophy, the champ. In the 250cc international category, Calvin Fournier, representing Apollo Indy Wheelers Motorsports. Thank you very much. Thank you, riders. Okay, so we quickly move on to the 250cc India-Asia Championship. All right, so this was the champion for the 250cc international category. Whoa, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on quickly to the champion in the 250cc India-Asia mix, representing Gujarat Trailblazers. Can we please have Delventol Alfarazi? The champion. He's the champion in the 250cc India-Asia category. What a ride. #1 red plate to the champion in the 250cc Asia-India mix. What a ride, what a ride. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's clap for the champion. That's the champion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's your championship trophy. Thank you, thank you. And the heavyweight, the last but not the least, the 450cc international category. Any guesses? Who is the champion in 450cc? I cannot hear you. Absolutely right. Ladies and gentlemen, the champion of the 450cc category, representing Big Rock, is Matt Moss. It's such a treat to watch the red number plate absolutely fantastic. Matt Moss, representing Big Rock Motorsports SX, is your champion in the 450cc category. And to do the honors, I have my favorite, Mr. Murshid. That's your champion. Wow. An absolute treat to watch. Matt Moss, the most consistent rider, grabbing maximum points for Big Rock and making Big Rock Motorsports an absolute proud team. That's your 450cc international champion. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your champion. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much to each and every one of you. It was an amazing day. It was history that was made in India. India has never, ever, ever seen anything like this. And this happens only at the ISRL. God bless the entire ISRL team. It is a teamwork. It is not one person who does it. It's the entire team that has worked day, nights, months to get this together. And what a way to end season number 2 in Calicut with 30,000 crazy motorsports fans, and they were there till the end. They didn't even leave their seats till the last round. So hats off to all of you. God bless. This is your host and host, Rustam Kersi Patel, signing out. Love you guys. Good night. Be safe. Love you, ISRL. Thank you.